Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hey, it's Shooter. Hey, we're going to go over swing trade notes. Of course, at the end of our presentation, please review our disclosures. Markets still are toppy. Let's just leave it there. I don't want to say trim into this yet because I think we got a decent upside. I think a decent, however, if we pull back below trend support and just, obviously draw your line on your weekly, at that point, I would definitely start trimming. Just giving you sort of my thought. We're bullish, but we have a lot of names that are getting some price rejection. It was pretty much a very quiet week last week, especially in currencies and a lot of the asset markets. Dollar seems to be a little stuck in its range, except for putting in a low for the week around 103.96. And stocks, on the other hand, just continue to push. We went up about 1.8% for the S&P, closed at 5,087 respectively. Bonds have stopped going down, so we've sort of built a bottom. I don't know how permanent that is. It shows some strength in the last 2 weeks. 10-year yield edged down about 4.25. 10-year bonds had a small gain, closing the week out at 133.20. Now, cryptocurrencies held steady, holding their recent gains. Now, at the moment, Bitcoin, at least for this writing, was steady at 51,720, while Ethereum is still running. It's up at about 3,094 as of this writing, up about 30% in the last month. Now, this week, we have a number of important economic data coming out, PMI, U.S. Core PEE, U.S. housing data, and a few others. As the indices reach all-time highs, make sure you guys trade carefully. Manage your position size. Maybe reduce your position size. In any instrument that has divergence in RSI, for example, a higher high in price and a lower high in RSI on the weekly or on the daily, or especially those where you have some confluence and it's in both time frames. All right, let's start off with the dollar here. We're still kind of in this flat, this huge range. I don't know whether the 200-day holds here or not, or we continue higher, to be very candid. It just is so much chop there. I have no bias in either direction at the moment. All right, looking at TLT. Now, again, I'd mentioned that we saw some strength. Count flipped back bullish. I've left my bearish counts here just so you can see both sides of the tape. I feel like Wild-Eyed Coyote when I look at this because I can't even count. It's at least 6 times it's flipped back and forth in this range here. This whole ledge here, it's been nothing but a flipper. So again, I really don't have a bias in either direction on that. Now, this week, I like Google. I like Google off this intermediate wave 2 at 139.49. Actually, I like Google more than many of the other instruments just because I think it has more upside. And the count supports, a good $1.70, into the end of 2024. So once we get out of this, and I look at this as a triangle, which has a success rate of plus 70% to the upside, is a good thing. So either sell some cash secured puts or do the monthly, like 145s, 150s, so buy it 2 months out. Right? Plan on holding it a month. At expiration, clear it out. So basically the Thursday week of expiration before noon, you want to clear those out. If you have any questions, please ask. Now let's jump out and take a look at the weekly on Google. We're right at that one breakout line where we had the full position size trigger off of the primary wave setup here right at the 8-day. So again, that definitely looks bullish to me. Now, went with a new one. I've got one of these guys down the street from me, and I actually like it. They do like a Chick-fil-A curbside order on there. It's a coffee place, right? And it's smack in between Dunkin' Donuts and McDonald's. And, part of the time, I'm always in a rush when I do go get coffee. I don't know why, but I am. But, so I look at, I don't really like Dunkin' Donuts, except for they do have a chai latte I like. But I don't like that location. So, and McDonald's is a little too chunky, and Starbucks is forever. It's a 30-minute wait. So I think they're benefiting, and we had some FOMO in the flow, quite a little bit of volume to the upside in the $30 strikes, going way out till May. So this caught my attention. I said, I like the count, intermediate wave 2. We've now tested the 50-day, the 200-day, and we're poking our head above both, right? Nice breath in the candles, However, if it closes below that 25.46, I would be out. Now here you can do cash secured puts or chase at the money. I would do the weeklies on this for the time being. So stick right at the money 2 weeks out. rinse and repeat weekly, as far as the strategy on that. Now, taking a look at the weekly look, we're looking for maybe 41 bucks once we get above this 8-day here. So if this is our floor, and I'm saying if, because, it's not a primary wave, okay? But that doesn't mean we won't see it. It's a very shallow chart. And it's a fairly new chart, so it doesn't have a lot of history. But I like the flow in there, and we had a nice positive look. Now, here is another one that came off of open interest percentage changes. Again, we've had a primary wave set up on our B. We had nice divergence for a bottom, had divergence on the top. That's the only thing is 40 bucks is a challenge, but if it breaks out above that, 60 bucks is our target. So pretty much the same blueprint as Bros. It's just Beyond Inc., okay, which is a furniture company. And retail has been doing fairly well, but the structure of the chart looks good, looks better than anything else I had in the book. Let's jump out and take a look at the weekly chart on that. So again, I would look at the weeklies, 30 bucks, rinse and repeat, maybe even the monthlies on this one, because I do think that, it's going to be a little thin on the weeklies, and the monthlies might, honestly, I haven't even looked at the options to, be candid. So, but I wouldn't be opposed to selling some cash secured puts on this. And as I look at it the first of the week, once the market opens, I'll definitely let you guys know if I jump on board here. But we're looking for that 40 bucks. I mean, it's a good even strike. I like those, so maybe even go out to the later part of May with some 40s if they're cheap enough. And that's pretty much what we have for the week, folks. Great trading. Until next time.